Hey everyone, I'm Jackie from Jack Literary Corner. It is time for another Top 5 Wednesday. It's the final Top Wednesday of October. And Top 5 Wednesday is a group created by Ginger Reads Laney and is hosted by Sam on Thoughts on Tomes. It's a Goodreads group. And what will be done is that she will give us topics to do each Wednesday of the month. And we get to pick our top 5 that answer that topic. So this week's topic is top 5 characters you love to cosplay as. And there are a lot of characters that I thought about cosplaying as, but some of them are a little more challenging for me to do. Because I have to wear a wig for a lot of them. And, figuring out how to, the first one on this list, figuring out how to do this particular cosplay. And some of these cosplays are hard, it's hard to recognize them, and there are certain, things that you need. And there's some of these cosplays also, these characters have weapons, and I think in most conventions they're not going to let you bring in weapons. Because, it could really hurt someone. Okay, so let's do my top 5 cosplays. This first one is from the Lunar Chronicles, which is a sci-fi retelling of some classic fairy tales like Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, Snow White. And you have our main character who's living in New Beijing. This is in the future. And she is supposed to be the Cinderella character. But after an accident that caused her flesh to burn, she is now, the people who saved her life have put inside her cyborg parts so that she could still live. So she is half cyborg, half human. And that's what makes her a bit of an outcast in this world. She's not just treated treated horribly by her stepfamily, which, yeah, she is. But it's also, she's an outcast to the public because she is half cyborg. And I would love to do that part. I think that I don't know if, I think she's a brunette. So I think I could keep my hair, but then my hair is not that long. So I might still have to wear a wig. But I could easily get away with wearing, Cinder's character is a mechanic. So I could easily get away with wearing, a costume that's like a mechanic's outfit. That gray, dirty looking costume. Maybe have a wrench, a fake wrench or something. Although that could be used as a weapon. I could get, a plastic wrench or something, or, I don't know. It'd be very difficult, because it could be tools mechanics use could potentially be used as weapons. So I have to get a fake one, maybe a toy one or something, like what my nephews would play with. Like I said, I would have to wear a wig. Now, the hardest part for this particular one is making me look part cyborg. I don't know how I would do that. I would have to look it up and find out, look at descriptions of her character. Because I don't remember in the book, or I would have to go through the book, maybe reread it, and figure out what parts describe her. Maybe make a fake, I don't have to do a lot, but maybe make it look like there's, you can take off a piece of my arm and, make it look like there's wiring in there or something. I don't know. Because I think she looks humanoid. She looks mostly human. She doesn't look like a robot or anything. But she can take off her skin and, reveal wiring underneath. And I remember, the hard part is I always had trouble, I need to reposition myself, because I am really uncomfortable. Something that's very tight. It's digging into my thigh. Okay, that helps a little bit. So I wouldn't know how to do the cyborg thing. And I remember when I first read it, I used to think I was picturing a robot or something. But then there are you know, like movies like Bicentennial Man, where he does become more human-like. And I guess I could go with, and so, I mean, it's just, it was very, I don't know, it's very hard to picture her. But I would still love to do it, because I feel like she's a very interesting character, and I do have I think I have the right color hair, but I might, like I said, I might still have to wear a wig. But it would be a very easy part to do, and very fun. Like I said, the hard part is showing my cyborgness. And some people might not necessarily know who I am, unless you've read the book. That's the problem with doing book cosplays, is people might not know who you are at conventions and stuff. Because mostly people dress up as comic book characters, you know, or characters from, like, or it would have to be a book that's already been made into a movie or a TV show. So you have an idea of how they look. But I still think it would still be kind of fun, though. Okay, so number 2 is, yes, another popular young adult novel, and that is Freya from ACOTAR series. This was another one that I would have to, like, figure out. Like, I definitely have to figure out, like, look in the book where it describes her clothes. Or, you know what I could do? I could do, like, the wedding dress. That would be so fun. The wedding dress part, that happens in the second book. When she's about to get married in the second book, and she's a really poofy dress. Think like, what is that? Labyrinth. There's a poofy dress that I remember the girl wears in Labyrinth. That's how a lot of people compared. They compared her dress, and like that's what they were picturing when thinking about Freya in the wedding dress, because it's really poofy and extravagant and stuff. Or I would probably go more along the lines of the second book anyway with my costumes. Because I love, you know, the ideas people come up with. Although the coloring book helps, because I have a coloring book for ACOTAR. And I actually could also do, I could do Selena, because I have a blonde wig. I actually have a blonde wig, so I could potentially do Selena too. But the problem with Selena is she's another character that has, like, a lot of weapons that she uses. Like, she's an assassin, so that one's a little hard. And any character, any part that I would love to cosplay as that involves, like, where they're an assassin type character would be very hard. Because, you know, with conventions and stuff. Now, there are some characters that I think I would love to do, like instead of a cosplay, do something that kind of fits them, like dress like how their style would be if they lived in our world in this modern time, and they didn't live in the fantasy world and have to deal with all that stuff. And were normal college, high school level people and kids, or normal adults, you know, that just had a regular job, like what their style would be. Like, this is something that I can't remember her channel name, Emma and Books or something. She actually did a video like that where she did dressing like fictional characters, where she picked outfits that kind of would reflect that character's style. Problem is, my characters are all from fantasy, so I would have to get a little creative here and figure out what would these characters, like, I think Selena would definitely be a very fashionable dresser if she wasn't living in the fantasy world, like living in Ardalan, or I can't remember what the Fae Kingdom she lives in originally is from. But I think she would be a bit of a fashionista type. Because she likes fashion. She's not just a badass fae, she also loves fashion. Although she's also a character that's incredibly annoying at times. But we're not talking about that. Okay, so, but yeah, Freya would be fun to do. And I would probably need to get those ears, kind of like the ones that people use for Lord of the Rings when you're playing the elves in Lord of the Rings. Oh, that reminds me. I think it would also be fun to dress up like the elves from ElfQuest. They're and, you know, you still have to get the ears, but they're a little different than the Lord of the Rings elves. They're not as elegant or European influenced. They're a little different from the Lord of the Rings elves. They're more wild and stuff. But it would, and more like I said, there's one group of elves that we meet in ElfQuest that are kind of like, they kind of remind me of Meridians from the famous biblical story, the Moses story. When Moses is like trekking through the desert after he finds out that he's half what are they called? What are their people called? He's one of the slaves. I can't remember I feel bad because I cannot remember what they're called, what their people are called. I can't remember what. I should really remember this. But the people that are the slaves, the Egyptians, I don't think they're people from Jerusalem, I believe. I'm not an expert on that kind of stuff, on the Bible and everything. But yeah, the elves in ElfQuest kind of remind me of those elves. Or at least, I mean, scratch that, rewind. A certain group of elves kind of remind me of those people, that race of people. When Moses, the one who ends up, the people that Moses ends up staying with, and he marries the oldest daughter to the high priest, Zipporah. He marries her. But that's who that race, the particular race in ElfQuest, kind of reminds me of them, which I like how it's a little different. It's not European like. It goes in a bit of a different direction with the elves, and that would be a fun cosplay to do. And I'm sure my friend Terry would have no problem if I wanted to do that cosplay. But anyway. Oh, in the book I just started reading, like literally just started today, that's a very interesting cosplay. The story is called Orcs by Stan Nichols. And it's the stories from the perspective of the orcs, and that would be a fun cosplay. But you would definitely have to wear a lot of makeup, but it would still be really fun. But anyway, let me get back to the ones I have here. Okay, so next, the third one is Evie O'Neill from the Diviner series, which is very funny if you guys know me, because I read The Diviners years and years ago, way before it became a popular series. And I just got tired of waiting for the second book. As much as I enjoyed the first book, I just got impatient to wait, and then I just kind of lost interest. But I do want to pick it up again and reread it. Maybe buy it. But again, it's one of these things where I need to rebuy the series, or I can always look for it. Hopefully one day the library would get it. I don't know if it would or not, but I should keep an eye out for that. Of course, if I see it at the library next time I return my books, I might get it. I might borrow it, even though that's a lot of books that I need to read. But if the library does carry it, if I do see it there, then I might get it. Now, if the used bookstore has it, I might buy it, because it would only probably be like $3. The whole series, the books, not the whole series, but each of the books individually. But I've always wanted to do the 1920s. I always have loved the Roaring 20s. I think that would be so fun, which actually brings me to another. I would love to do a cosplay of Daisy Buchanan. Because again, it would still be the 20s. I think that would be fun. And that's something that I think Terry would love to do too. Because we've already talked about doing that for a cosplay, the 20s, and 2020, one of our costumes, she suggested we do 1920s garb, and we'd be flappers. So I thought that would be really cool. Of course, I would also, if I wasn't such a chicken, and wasn't so insecure and overly cautious, we have thought about I would love to do a cosplay, a Gotham cosplay, where, she's already been Catwoman. I already have been their version of Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot. And she's been Catwoman, the original Catwoman, closer to, the comic books. But I was Oswald Cobblepot from the show Gotham. So we've already done that. And I have thought about I had this idea, but then I was like, oh God, I can't do that. I'm too, oh my god, like, I was, I started, like, I don't think I'd be brave enough to do that. And that is playing one of the Valeska brothers, who's kind of the Joker-like character. He's not officially the Joker, because the Warner Brothers in DC Comics is so protective of the character, they were holding out, giving the guys running Gotham permission to use the Joker, although I think now, as of this is the last season coming up this winter or spring, we might get our Cameron Monaghan might be the Joker after all. But anyway, so I thought about playing one of the Valeska twins, and then Terry, who is already blonde, who is blonde herself, maybe put her hair in pigtails, they'd be really curly pigtails, but still, and she could be Harley Quinn if she wanted. So, but it's like, am I gonna have the guts to do it? Because I am too chicken. Okay, but I keep getting off on topic on sharing different cosplays I would love to do. So anyway, back to these ones, the actual ones I have here. Like I said, Evie, I've already wanted to do the 1920s, and Terry and I have already talked about it. Of course, again, this would be another one where I would have to get a wig because she's blonde. But it's just very, I feel like, though, my mom's usually the one that helps me get this stuff, and she would be questioning me, and it's like, why do you want to do this? And, oh, well, you have to show me a picture and everything so I can help you, and it's kind of annoying because she ends up talking me out of the ideas that I have, because they're difficult, or, for some reason or another. No, I can't entirely, I'm not trying to throw my mom under the bus or say it's entirely her fault. I let myself get talked out of it. But, yeah, so I'm just worried that she's going to talk me out of this one. And just be like, oh, why do you have to be this character? Why can't you just be your own self as if you're a flapper, Just like I said, I'm not trying to throw my mom under the bus, although you guys are probably thinking, well, you technically are. But, yeah. Anyway, so I would love to be Evie O'Neill or be someone else, a 1920s flapper, but this was asking for specific characters from books, so I chose her. Because I did like the Diviner series. Okay, number 4. And that is Sansa Stark. I know a lot of people, she gets a lot of hate as a character, but as the series progresses, I think she becomes more interesting, and you feel bad for her. You pity her, because she's an object of how society raised her. I mean, and you can't blame her for thinking the way she did. Like, society is all, like, tells you, and in the world of Westeros, too, obviously, because is that, you have to look pretty and find Prince Charming and become his wife, and, make his babies and be the moral, make everybody in the country feel happy and stuff and feel better and stuff. So she was told all her life, and she never really got to know or meet her Prince Charming being Joffrey. So she didn't know anything about him, and she thought he was a nice guy and everything. And she didn't understand why her sister was different from her. So, yeah, I know everyone who loves Arya, who I love too as a character, they hate Sansa. And yes, in the beginning of the series, I kind of was not her biggest fan, but I started to get to know her character. And, watching the show, because it's mostly from the show's perspective. And I think it would also be really fun to play her character. Another character that I would need a wig for, to get really, like, light red hair. And it would be fun, and I get to wear pretty dresses, so, because every once in a while, I do like wearing dresses, so it would be kind of fun, and it would also be an easy costume, and wouldn't be that uncomfortable, because, it might be a little warm, the dress, but still, it'd be fun. Like, I've already done Daenerys Targaryen, so now I just gotta do, some of the other girl characters. I also thought about doing Cersei, too. Cersei would be fun, also, to dress up as. Again, another character that I would have to wear a wig for. It's, like, unavoidable. But first and foremost, I would love to dress up as Sansa Stark. Of course, too bad I'm not as skinny as her. Yes, I know, like, I'm not fat or anything, but I do have a little bit of chubbiness, and I have to remember to suck it in. But, you know, the actor Sophie Turner's definitely skinnier, is a little bit skinnier than me. So, but anyway, okay, so the last one is Vin from Mistborn series. Vin would be another easy one, and I don't even have to wear a wig for that one. I could just keep my hair because her hair's short. I would have to brush my hair a little bit, but you know, definitely brush it. But you know, you brush it. Need to brush it anyway. So, but other than that, I don't have to wear a wig because her hair is short. So it's like, and most of her costumes are pretty easy, unless I decide to go Vin as in Vin when she's all dressed up and stuff. But like going as Vin when she's, you know, her regular self, go running around through the mist and stuff. I'd love to do that. Like, I don't know what I would need to get a cloak, like a gray cloak, and kind of wear, I don't know, it would be very hard though. Actually, it would be hard. It's a simple costume, but it's also kind of hard, because you have to figure out what it is you would have to, like, would I need to wear something, I don't know, that's like karate, but a black outfit? You know, I get, the only picture I would have here, though, is, like, maybe what's on the cover of the books. The good news about my copies is they're very interesting covers. Scratch that. The good news about my copies is the covers offer a picture of the main character, of Vin. So, I could show that to Mom, but then my mom would still be like, that probably would think that's not a good picture. I would probably have to look up online, see if there's any Vin cosplays out there. Maybe. Well, first I would probably start with Mistborn cosplays. But anyway, I think it's easy. It'll be kind of easy and kind of not. That would be the problem. Oh, and Freya, I don't know if I think I did say with that one that I think I might have to wear a wig with that one too, because yes, I have brown hair, but it's short brown hair, unless I say, oh, Freya cut her hair, decided to cut it. Yeah, I guess I could say that. I could say that Freya cut her hair. Yeah. But anyway, so those are the characters I would love to cosplay as. Like I said, though, the only problem is it's because they're book characters that are not necessarily going to be pictures of them. I don't know. I would have to like show a picture of them to see what they look like. And some of these books do have a bit of a picture on the cover, not a real life picture, but a drawn picture or a painted picture or whatever. But anyway, so if you guys feel like sharing, feel free to share in the comments characters that you would love to cosplay as. Characters that you think it would be fun to dress up as, whether it's for Halloween or conventions, or maybe you're doing it for a video. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and click subscribe if you hadn't. I really appreciate it. And as always, I hope you all are enjoying your reading. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.